They thought it was safe. They thought it was routine. They thought beauty could be fixed with a needle, a scalpel, and a promise. Just hours before a sold-out show, Michael Jackson was injected with a powerful surgical anesthetic meant for operating rooms, not bedrooms. He never woke up. That moment exposed a truth the world didn't want to face. Perfection can kill. Cosmetic surgery is sold as confidence in a bottle, youth on demand, flaws erased overnight. But behind the glossy ads and celebrity smiles is a darker reality, one filled with pain, addiction, regret, and death. Fame doesn't protect you, money doesn't save you, and believing you'll come out better doesn't mean you'll come out alive. In this video, we uncover the hidden cost of chasing perfection. These are real stories, real bodies, real consequences. Before you judge, watch closely. Before you decide, listen carefully. And ask yourself, is beauty really worth the price? Michael Jackson, when chasing perfection destroyed a king. Michael Jackson wasn't just a superstar. He was a global phenomenon. From Thriller to the moonwalk, he redefined music, dance, and fame itself. But behind the applause lived a man trapped by insecurity, relentless pressure, and a lifelong obsession with perfection. Criticized from childhood for his appearance and pushed by brutal industry standards, Michael turned to cosmetic surgery, believing it would finally bring peace. One procedure became many. Nose jobs, facial implants, endless revisions, until his face and health began to collapse under the weight of it all. Physical pain led to dependency on prescription drugs, and those drugs slowly took control of his life. What the world saw as transformation was, in reality, a quiet unraveling. On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson died from a fatal overdose, leaving the world shocked and heartbroken. His story is more than a celebrity tragedy. It's a warning. When self-worth is tied to appearance, even the brightest stars can fall. Countess Vaughn. A quick fix that left permanent scars. Countess Vaughn grew up in front of America. From Moesha to the Parkers, she was the funny, confident girl millions loved. But after pregnancy and relentless body shaming, that confidence was slowly chipped away. Online comments, casting pressure, and cruel headlines made her feel like her body had become a problem she needed to fix. In 2013, Countess chose liposuction and a tummy tuck, hoping to reclaim her pre-baby figure and feel comfortable on camera again. What followed was a nightmare she never expected. Just days after surgery, her abdomen became severely infected. Skin turned necrotic. Doctors were forced to remove large areas of dead tissue to save her life. She survived, but at a devastating cost. Raised, painful scars permanently cover her stomach, making everyday life and self-confidence a daily struggle. The surgery meant to fix her body left her with lifelong pain and emotional trauma. Years later, Countess bravely showed her scars on television, warning others not to rush into cosmetic surgery out of insecurity. Her story proves that chasing acceptance can sometimes lead to irreversible loss. Donda West, the mother whose death changed the law. Donda West was far more than a celebrity parent. She was a respected university professor, a mentor, and the guiding force behind her son's early career. At 58, after weight gain and growing insecurity, Donda decided to undergo cosmetic surgery, not out of vanity, but a desire to feel confident and presentable in a public world tied to fame. In November 2007, she underwent multiple procedures in one day under general anesthesia. Against medical advice, she chose to recover at home instead of staying overnight for monitoring. That decision would prove fatal. Hours later, she struggled to breathe, collapsed, and was rushed to the hospital. She died shortly after from complications related to heart disease, medication, and restricted breathing. Donda's death devastated her family and permanently altered her son's life, but it also sparked change. Her passing led to the Donda West law, requiring medical clearance before cosmetic surgery in California. Her story stands as one of the clearest warnings. Even routine procedures can become deadly, and sometimes the price is paid by those who never sought fame for themselves. K. Michelle, the curves that nearly killed her. K. Michelle built her career on raw honesty, powerhouse vocals, and a striking hourglass figure that became part of her brand. But behind that image was a dangerous secret. In the early 2010s, desperate to enhance her curves quickly and cheaply, she turned to illegal silicone injections performed outside medical facilities. What she didn't know was that the silicone would migrate through her body. It spread into her hips, thighs, and bloodstream, causing severe infections, constant pain, and dangerously high fevers. At one point, she was fighting sepsis, and doctors warned she could die. Over several years, K. Michelle underwent multiple major surgeries just to remove the toxic material, but some of it could never be fully extracted. The damage permanently altered her body and health. The surgery, meant to make her feel desirable, nearly ended her life. Instead of staying silent, she spoke out, publicly warning others about black market procedures and the lies surrounding quick fixes. Her story is a rare survival tale, but survival came at a brutal cost. K. Michelle's scars are proof that beauty shortcuts can turn into lifelong battles. Lil' Kim, fame, trauma, and the face she lost. Lil' Kim was once the undisputed queen of hip-hop, bold, fearless, and unapologetically herself. But after years of abuse, public scrutiny, and relentless comparison, her relationship with her own image began to fracture. A broken nose from domestic violence became the starting point of a long and painful transformation. One surgery led to another: nose jobs, facial implants, skin treatments, each meant to fix something, but instead slowly erased the face the world once knew. Over time, her features collapsed and changed so drastically that even longtime fans struggled to recognize her. Behind the shocking appearance was deep emotional pain. Lil' Kim later admitted she no longer recognized herself and felt trapped by the choices she made trying to escape insecurity and trauma. What began as healing turned into an addiction to alteration. Her story isn't about vanity, it's about survival, self-hatred, and the brutal pressure placed on women in the spotlight. Lil' Kim didn't lose her talent, but she lost her identity, chasing an image that never truly existed. Mary Wells, a nose job that silenced a legend. Mary Wells was the golden voice of Motown, the woman behind timeless hits like My Guy. Her sound was smooth, joyful, and unmistakable. But as the years passed and her career slowed, insecurity crept in. After weight loss and personal struggles, she fixated on her appearance, especially her nose. In her late 40s, Mary chose rhinoplasty, believing a simple cosmetic change could help revive her confidence and career. Instead, it triggered a medical nightmare. Her body reacted violently to the implant, causing severe infection and swelling that spread to her throat. Breathing became difficult, speaking became painful, singing became impossible. Complications worsened by years of smoking destroyed her vocal cords. Soon after, she was diagnosed with laryngeal cancer. The voice that defined her legacy was gone. In 1992, Mary Wells died at just 49 years old. Her tragedy shocked the music world and exposed the hidden dangers of cosmetic surgery, especially for aging performers. Mary Wells didn't just lose her life, she lost the very gift that made her immortal. Princess Shingle became famous for an extreme image, a dramatically tiny waist that turned her into a social media sensation. Applause followed, but so did pressure to keep pushing her body further. In pursuit of an impossible standard, she traveled abroad for radical cosmetic procedures, including rib removal to achieve an ultra-slim waist, and later fat transfer surgeries to maintain curves. The results were devastating. The rib removal damaged her internal organs and triggered serious kidney complications. Subsequent procedures led to infections, fainting spells, and repeated hospitalizations. What once brought attention began draining her health, finances, and peace of mind. Daily life turned into pain management, doctor visits, and fear of long-term organ failure. Eventually, Princess spoke out, breaking down publicly and urging others not to copy her choices. She admitted that the body the world admired nearly destroyed her from the inside out. Her story is a harsh reminder that extreme beauty trends don't come with safety nets, and the body always keeps the score. Stella Obasanjo, a First Lady lost to a silent mistake. Stella Obasanjo was admired not just as Nigeria's First Lady, but as a compassionate humanitarian and national symbol of grace. Living under constant public scrutiny, she quietly chose cosmetic surgery abroad, hoping to refresh her appearance ahead of a milestone birthday. It was meant to be private. It became a national tragedy. During a liposuction procedure overseas, catastrophic internal injuries occurred. Instead of being hospitalized, she was sent back to recover on her own. Within hours, severe pain set in. By the time emergency care arrived, infection had spread through her body. She was declared brain dead from sepsis and multiple organ failure. Nigeria mourned in shock and anger. Millions questioned how a routine cosmetic procedure could end a life and why accountability was so limited. Stella Obasanjo's death exposed dangerous gaps in medical tourism oversight and reminded the world that status offers no protection when medical safety fails. Her legacy remains a warning written in irreversible loss. Wendy Williams, when the spotlight faded, so did her health. Wendy Williams built an empire on fearless honesty. Her voice was loud, her opinions sharper, and her presence unforgettable. But behind the bold persona was a woman battling insecurity, addiction, and relentless pressure to look TV-ready. Cosmetic procedures became part of that fight. Early surgeries promised confidence but delivered complications. Over time, repeated cosmetic work, painkillers, and stress took a heavy toll on her body. Botox altered her expressions, infections followed, and swelling worsened existing health issues. As her appearance changed, so did public perception, and eventually her career. In the years that followed, Wendy's health declined rapidly. Memory loss, neurological issues, and loss of independence led to financial guardianship and the end of her show. The woman who once dominated daytime television faded from the spotlight she helped create. Wendy Williams' story isn't about vanity. It's about survival in an industry that punishes aging. Her fall asks a painful question. How much must someone sacrifice just to remain visible? There you have it. Behind the fame, the filters, and the flawless red carpet smiles are stories filled with pain, regret, and consequences that can never be undone. These celebrities didn't chase danger. They chased acceptance, confidence, and the promise of perfection the world kept selling them. Cosmetic surgery didn't just change their faces or bodies, it changed their lives. In some cases, it took them entirely. What started as a small fix became a turning point that cost health, careers, families, and futures. The lesson is simple but powerful. Beauty fades, trends change, but the damage can be permanent. No amount of fame, money, or praise is worth losing yourself or your life. So before chasing perfection, ask yourself the question they never had the chance to answer. Is it really worth it? If this story made you think, share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe now so you never miss the next celebrity secrets waiting to be exposed.